Faye Treacy.
Faye Treacy.
On Scala Radio.
Good evening. It's Sunday night. It's just after 6. I'm Faye Treacy and this is Scala Radio. Tonight I've got a cracking show. I've got some Debbie Wiseman, I've got some Bjork, I've got some Verdi, I've got some Max Richter, and I've got some Debussy. But let's keep things moving with the dulcet tones of Andrea Bocelli. So next I have a tune. I have to be honest, that's kind of it's a bit of a personal kind of nightmare of mine. It's Schubert's Piano Quintet that's based on his song The Trout, which I was made to sing at school in the school assembly in Croydon when I was 13 years old, and I've never lived it down because I didn't want to be a trout. What 13-year-old wants to sing about a trout?
Faye Treacy.
The fourth movement of the Trout there, and God only knows the flashbacks I had whilst listening to that. I'm talking about God only knows. I've got Jeremy Webb on piano now with that classic. New York Philharmonic Orchestra there with The Young Prince and the Young Princess, taken from Scheherazade there by Rimsky-Korsakov. So basically, the storyline of that one is the prince, basically, he would marry a young girl each night, consensually, and then, kill them because he got fed up with them. But there was one, he was really clever and would tell the prince stories, and he saved her. It's a classic story, classic.
On digital,
Online,
via the app,
and on your smart speaker.
this is Scala Radio News.
And that was the news. So next I have the fourth movement from Berlioz's Symphonie Fantastique. This is amazing. I absolutely love it. And you're a treat because it's the New York Philharmonic Orchestra with Leonard Bernstein conducting. So this is the March to the Scaffold. What a sound there. I absolutely love that one. I have to be honest, I kind of feel like this was, when he's almost going to the gallows, he's kind of gone all wrong, everything, the protagonist in a Symphonie Fantastique there. And I have to be honest, it kind of is how I feel sometimes at 4 a.m. When you wake up and then you can't, get back to sleep and you're watching the clock and it's a bit like insomnia and you're like, oh my God, my alarm is about to go off. So I promised you that we had a Mozart violin concerto coming up, and it's actually one of my favourites. So Mozart wrote 5 violin concertos, all in the space of a year at the age of 19, which, let's be honest, is a bit ridiculous. At the age of 19, I was just trying to practice a lot in my practice room, just trying to get into the Royal Academy of Music, probably in between Jaeger bombs and just being a general teenager. I just find that quite ridiculous. I mean, he was a child prodigy, and from the age of 7, he was very, very, very good on the violin. So Mozart's dad was taking him all around Vienna and around Europe, just showing off his son. And his dad wanted him to be the best violinist in Europe, but Mozart had other ideas because he preferred the piano. And he told his dad, when performing is necessary, I decidedly prefer the piano, and I probably always shall, which, is defiant. And I actually agree with him. He wanted to be a composer, and it makes a lot more sense to compose at a harmony instrument. So this is Mozart's Violin Concerto number 4, and this is the first movement, and enjoy because it's absolutely incredible.
Faye Treacy.
On Scala Radio.
De Fea's Ritual Fire Dance there, performed by the Philharmonia Orchestra. I love that. That's taken from a ballet. But I think the work is often associated with Rimsky-Korsakov, A Flight of the Bumblebee, that was an awful impression, but you know what I mean. Think about it, the Lurpak advert, due to its fast repetitive trills and ornaments. But it was also it's quite heavily influenced by the traditional religious ceremony of a fire dance. And basically this is a dance which was used to worship the fire god, in which people would often jump through or leap around the fire. aria. So in that ballet, it's all about this young gypsy girl called Candela, and she ends up having to marry this a lot older man who dies, and then she's haunted by the ghost of her old dead husband, which completely sucks, let's be honest. So to get rid of him, all the gypsies make a large circle around this campfire at midnight, and they perform the ritual fire dance to make the ghost appears, to whom she then dances to, and then they whirl around faster and faster and faster and draw the ghost into the fire, making it vanish forever. So it's like a very, very nice happy ending. So I've got something completely different for you coming up next. I have Smells Like Teen Spirit, right? By Nirvana. Yep, you heard that correctly. It's done differently. Grunge piano. I think that's a new genre. It's a Music Lab collective this time. I think I was definitely a toddler when this song came out, but I still like to own the grunge period. I think, it's as if it's part of my youth. I think I definitely still sometimes dress as if I'm 19. But I think it's just such a timeless tune of teenage expression, right? It's a bit like the Undertones Teenage Kicks, or the Bob Dylan stuff in the 60s. And I think what I like about it is just how honest Kurt Cobain was. He just admitted he was kind of influenced by the sound of the Pixies for it. And what I found really fascinating, basically they only did 3 takes in a record for this on the album Nevermind, and this was the second take. So see what you make of this version. This is the Music Lab collective with Nirvana's Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Faye's Funny Friends on Scala Radio.
So it's that time of the show where I have Faye's Funny Friends, and today's guest is the one and only stalwart of the UK comedy circuit. Welcome to the show, Mr. Mitch Benn.
Look at you on the Scala Radio.
I am sat, where are we? The Royal Court Cafe.
Here we are, yeah.
Yeah, with the very lovely and very, very talented Matt G, principal of the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra, and also you're in Septura, which is an amazing chamber brass group that I keep playing.
Bet quite full on.
Yeah, pretty full on.
Yeah, that's up there.
And you, head of the British writing, are you doing the British trombone?
President.
Sorry, not the head.
Just
President.
Been sworn in, actually.
Okay. What was it? You had to play Johnny Briggs. As you walked in, everyone was just going.
It should have been the final test, yeah.
Grade 5 trombone.
Faye Treacy
Faye Treacy.
on Scala Radio.
Stunning, isn't it? I absolutely love that. It was making me think of that Nietzsche quote. He who climbs upon the highest mountains laughs at all tragic plays and tragic reality. I do like a little bit of Nietzsche, I have to be honest. I mean, he was a silly man, but I enjoy it. I think my favourite quote of his is, blessed are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders. And I think least is probably, women are God's second biggest mistake. And it's like, oh, come on, Nietzsche, lad. It's just 'cause basically Wagner's wife, Cosima, never gave you the attention you wanted, mate. That was the thing. So that was the Alpine Symphony by Richard Strauss, the second movement of the Ella. So I'm going to stop geeking out right now. I've had a really nice time tonight. I've really enjoyed my show. And so thank you very much for tuning in and staying with me. And I've been Faye Treacy, and this is Scala Radio, and I'll be back next Saturday at 6. So I'm going to leave you in the capable hands of Darren Reddick with Sunday Night Scala.
Faye Treacy
Faye Treacy.
on Scala Radio.
I mean, Schubert wrote this towards the later part of his life, isn't it? Schubert died at, 31? Basically, I'm just thinking I was put Schubert in the syphilis club.
Yeah.
He's one of those composers who they were like, oh, we started going a bit cranky towards the end, and you're like, it was the syphilis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, before